university affiliated colleges. This webinar is possibly by the blessings, suggestions, and he always support for his intellectual activities in the college. He provides us with an overview in the sign of distress, depression, and other problems typical in youth who may be experiencing emotional difficulties. I request to our principal sir, Professor Naresh Malikji, to welcome to our chief guest, guest of honor, and our participants. Sir, please.
Am I audible? सुन रहा है?
Sir, sir.
Respected Professor N. K. Taneja ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor Chaudhry Charan Singh University Meerut, and Chief Patron of this webinar, Chief Guest Professor R. P. Singh ji, Honorable Vice Chancellor Swami Keshwanand, Rajasthan Agricultural University, Bikaner, Guest of Honor Dr. B.P. Singh ji, Director, State Institute of Management of Agriculture, Lucknow. Special guest, Dr. P.K. Tripathi, Joint Director, Department of Agriculture, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Keynote speaker, Professor Ashish Pandey, Department of Water Resources, Development and Management, IIT Roorkee. Professor Ram Pyare, Chandrasekhar Azad University of Agriculture and Technology, Kanpur. Dr. S.K. Singh, Organizing Secretary of this webinar. All distinguished guests, respected participants from all over India as well as from abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you from depth of my heart in this webinar, which is being organized jointly by Research and Education Development Society and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, Chaudhry Choturam College, PG College, Muzaffarnagar. I congratulate Dr. S.K. Singh, Organizing Secretary, and our young colleague, dedicated worker, who has organized this international webinar. He is our head of Department of Genetics and Plant Breeding or Agricultural Botany, you may say. And I congratulate him because he has taken initiatives. I always, or I often, quote a share of a famous shair in my lectures or talks. मंजिल मिल ही जाएगी भटकते ही सही, मंजिल मिल ही जाएगी भटकते ही सही, गुमराह तो वो हैं जो घर से निकले ही नहीं. I am very happy that Dr. S.K. Singh has acted upon the advice given in this famous shair. Our college, Chaudhry Choturam Postgraduate College, Muzaffarnagar, is affiliated to Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut, and this was established in 1959 with only agriculture faculty. After this, now it has 3 faculties, that is agriculture, science, and commerce. It is a government aided institution, NAC accredited institution, as well as it is recognized by UGC under 2F and 12B. A large number of our old students or large number of our alumni, they are working or they are serving on different posts, key posts all over India as well as abroad, especially in field of agriculture. Now, the topic of this webinar, which has been organized by Dr. S.K. Singh, that is post-COVID-19 research advancement in arena of agricultural, environmental, and life sciences. I will not go into details of this because there are eminent speakers present here who will speak on this topic. But I can say only one thing, that is, everything has changed. Everything has changed, or this COVID-19 has changed everything in our life. And there are advancement in different fields, as is evident from that we are organizing today webinar and note seminar. So webinar, that is the result of this COVID-19. But I will like to say one thing, that the sanctity of the webinars or e-certificates, that should be maintained. That should be maintained by us, because there are many jokes floating on social media about webinars and e-certificates. But we should participate in these academic programs wholeheartedly. In the end, I will not take much time. In the end, I aware all of the participants who are present here. I may aware all of you about consequences of COVID-19. It is very infectious disease, very contagious disease, and therefore I will appeal all of you, stay home, stay safe. Besides sanitization, wearing masks, and social distancing, because social distancing or physical distancing, that is the only social vaccine. And at this time, I remember few lines of a famous lyricist, famous poet, Gulzar Sahab, famous film director, Gulzar Sahab, who has, his actual name is Shri Sampuran Singh Kalra. His nickname is Gulzar Sahab. So I may repeat some of the lines. कुछ लाइनें मैं गुलजार साहब की आपके सामने इसी से रिलेटेड, कोविड-19 से रिलेटेड मैं आपके सामने बताना चाहता हूं, कहना चाहता हूं, और ध्यान से सुनिए, सुनी भी होंगी आपने, कोई नई चीज नहीं है, कि बेवजह घर से निकलने की जरूरत क्या है। बेवजह घर से निकलने की जरूरत क्या है, मौत से आंखें मिलाने की जरूरत क्या है। बेवजह घर से निकलने की जरूरत क्या है, मौत से आंखें मिलाने की जरूरत क्या है। सबको मालूम है बाहर की हवा है कातिल, सबको मालूम है बाहर की हवा है कातिल। यूं ही कातिल से उलझने की जरूरत क्या है, यूं ही कातिल से उलझने की जरूरत क्या है। जिंदगी एक नेमत है, जिंदगी एक नेमत है, इसे संभाल कर रखें। फिर कब्रगाहों को सजाने की जरूरत क्या है, फिर कब्रगाहों को सजाने की जरूरत क्या है। दिल को बहलाने के लिए घर में वजह है काफी, दिल को बहलाने के लिए घर में वजह है काफी। फिर गलियों में बेवजह भटकने की जरूरत क्या है। ये कुछ बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट लाइंस इसी से संबंधित गुलजार साहब ने लिखी हैं। तो मैं सभी से प्रार्थना करता हूं, निवेदन करता हूं कि जो सुरक्षा के साधन हैं, और खास तौर पे बेवजह घर से मत निकलिए, यही मैं सबसे अपील करना चाहता हूं। अब पुनः मैं अपने सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को यहाँ पे पुनः वेलकम करता हूँ इस वेबिनार में, और मैं अपने माननीय कुलपति जी प्रोफेसर एन.के. तनेजा जी, खासतौर पे जो चीफ पैट्रन है इस वेबिनार के, उनका आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। वो बहुत दूसरी टर्म लगभग 5 साल से हमारे विश्वविद्यालय के माननीय कुलपति के पद पर आसीन हैं। काफी सारी डेवलपमेंट जो दिखाई दे रही हैं वो डॉक्टर तनेजा साहब के, प्रोफेसर तनेजा साहब के कार्यकाल में हुई हैं। तथा एक बहुत ही प्रसिद्ध अर्थशास्त्री आप हैं, मैं आपका बहुत ही आभार व्यक्त करता हूं कि आपने आप जो है यहाँ पे आए हमें ब्लेसिंग्स देने के लिए, आशीर्वाद देने के लिए, और ये आपका यहाँ होना हमें हमारे लिए बहुत कुछ है, बहुत कुछ है। तो अंत में मैं अपनी बात को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। आपने बहुत अच्छी अच्छी बातें बताई, बिल्कुल अच्छी तरह से, बहुत बहुत कुछ मेरे बारे में बोल दिया सर, बहुत अच्छा। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। अब हम जो है प्रोग्राम को शुरू करने के लिए, जैसे कि मुझे डायरेक्शन मिले थे, तो मैं सबसे पहले हमारे माननीय कुलपति जी से हम ब्लेसिंग स्पीच, ब्लेसिंग्स के रूप में फ्यू वर्ड्स कहने के लिए मैं अपने कुलपति जी को आमंत्रित करूंगा।
Thank you, Dr. S.K. Singh, organizing secretary of this seminar. Present here are Dr. Naresh Malik, the principal of Chaudhry Chotu Ram Postgraduate College, Muzaffarnagar, and also the main motivation behind this seminar. Chief guest, Professor R.P. Singh, Vice Chancellor Swami Keshwanand, Rajasthan Agricultural University, Bikaner. Guest of honor, Dr. B.P. Singh, Director, State Institute of Management of Agriculture, Lucknow. Special guest, Dr. P.K. Tripathi, who is Joint Director, Agriculture Department, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Keynote speaker, Professor Ashish Pandey from Department of Water Resource Development and Management, IIT Roorkee. Other distinguished participants and technocrats from different parts of the country, as also from globe. It is really a very welcome initiative taken by Dr. Naresh Malik, the principal of this college, and his team to have organized this webinar on a very, very topical theme. As a matter of fact, Dr. Malik, a brilliant alumnus of Department of Botany of this university, bears testimony to the fact that a large number of very good students have completed their undergraduation and post-graduation, as also their PhD degree from this very reputed college. I am convinced that knowledge is basically interdisciplinary, and the watertight compartmentalization brought about by subject specialists becomes redundant, irrelevant when we are facing a particular problem creating hardship or challenging the very life of people at large, as COVID-19 is. It is in this context that scholars, scientists, cutting across subject boundaries have to come together to suggest strategies to combat this situation. I am not a technocrat so far as the field of this webinar is concerned, but my little understanding, of course imperfect, makes me believe that it is ultimately the immunity of people at large which could act as deterrent to the spread of outbreak of or harmful effect of this pandemic. It is in this context that the developments in agriculture, life sciences, and environmental sciences, as I have already outlined, these are all interrelated, and the quality of research, a better understanding of all these aspects and the resultant policies will go a long way in creating an ecological environment that will improve the general immunity of people at large so that they can successfully combat the attack of COVID-19. Knowledge about it is grossly inadequate, dissatisfactory, and nobody is able to comment as to what are the factors responsible. But this can be concluded that immunity of the human being, that is its capability to fight the disease, is definitely contingent upon the environment we confront, the type of air that we breathe in, the type of food that we consume, as also our knowledge of life and medical sciences. It is in this context that this webinar shall go a long way in presenting a new narrative so as to guide research policy. As of now, I would only say that there is an urgent need to conserve water resources, and we should be thinking in terms of bringing about a crop substitution in our agriculture. India is now no longer a country facing food grain shortage. Therefore, the crops, be it wheat or rice, which consume too much of water, have to be substituted by some other crops whose economic value, as also the damage that they cause to environment, is reduced. One. two life science experts have to focus on which are the plant varieties that will bring in more oxygen so as to improve upon the humidity. There are a number of aspects the technocrats will discuss. As a journalist, I would only say that the end to knowledge is very difficult to be attained. The quest for new research shall go on, and the role of this type of gatherings is very important. I congratulate the organizers, the principal, and staff of this college who have taken a lead. Professor Naresh Malik, a valued colleague, not only at the level of the college, but also at university level, has always taken a lead in organizing such activities. I congratulate all of you and wish this webinar successfully meets its objective. I would have definitely liked to be a participant for at least inaugural session of this webinar and taken the benefit of the learned keynote address speaker, Professor Ashish Pandey's lecture. But my duty as Vice Chancellor here is not permitting me to continue to be associated for another 1.5 hours. I would therefore like to be excused for this. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now I will request to Dr. R.S. Sahu ji. Sahu ji, are you hearing me? Dr. Sahu from Taiwan, are you hearing me? हाँ लाइन पर है हाँ सुधीर जी सर को इनको लाइए उसमें पैनल में तो है इनका फोटो लगाइए इसमें
नहीं सर ये पैनल में ज्वाइन नहीं की
हाँ
और अटेंडेंस में अब किस नेम से है पता नहीं चल रहा है
हाँ मैसेज किया है उन्हें डॉक्टर R.S. साहू लिखा है उसमें मैसेज आया इनका हाँ मैसेज आया है उनको हो गए
सर ये पैनल में भी नहीं दिख रहा है इनको डायरेक्ट बोल रहे लिंक पे क्लिक करके डायरेक्ट ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं
हाँ वो मैसेज आया आई कैन नॉट सी माय वीडियो हाँ उनका मैसेज आया आई कैन नॉट सी माय वीडियो
he is joining the attendees he asked him to join in the panelist already have sent to me
हाँ सर आप पैनलिस्ट के रूप में ज्वाइन करिए आपने अटेंडी के रूप में ज्वाइन किया है जो ऊपर क्लिक टू ज्वाइन हेयर जहां लिखा है आ गए?
Yes, sir.
आ गए?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me, sir?
हाँ सर वेलकम सर.
Thank you, sir.
सर प्लीज आप अपना स्पीच स्टार्ट कीजिए. आप ही का वेट कर रहे थे. डॉक्टर आर.एस. साहू फ्रॉम नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ताइवान.
Yes, sir. I think I should share my screen.
सुधीर जी स्क्रीन शेयर के लिए कर दीजिए, चाहे स्क्रीन शेयर कर लें.
Share already all panelists.
हाँ, all panelists are able to share screen. All panelists are able
Share
to
already on.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Myself, Ramashankar Sahu, and this is my presentation today. Actually, before going into detail, I would like to introduce myself. Myself, Ramashankar Sahu, and working here as a postdoctoral and doing research on environmental engineering at National Taiwan University. Before coming here, I completed my PhD from National Tsinghua University, and I also worked in Indian Institute of Technology from 2007 to 2013 with Professor Y.D. Bankar in chemistry department. And I have completed my master's from CSJM University in 2006. So the entire academic is like going in environmental, but I'm basically from the biochemistry. But last more than 13 years, I'm working in the environmental sciences. So first of all, I would like to introduce something about the COVID-19 and after effects on the agriculture and society. As we know that the whole world is suffering from this pandemic, that is the COVID-19. And I'm really grateful to the farmers and other researchers who are really working harder, even though there is a pandemic situation. And most probably, they are only the pillars standing now. And in the coming few months, maybe there will be some shortage of fertilizer, medicines, and other things for agriculture production. So as VC Saab told us that we had to overcome with some new breeds of rice or some other grains, which can grow faster by using less water or other fertilizers. Or maybe we can also move to the organic farming, like India having a lot of animal or like a. So most probably we can move in that direction also. This is the situation where India can grow faster, but the situation is little bit worse due to the increasing numbers of coronavirus. And the most affected person may be the farmers or the poor people, migrants, and other informal workers who are working in different companies or in the farms. But now they have no option.
स्लाइड्स नहीं दिख रही हैं इसमें.
Sir?
स्लाइड्स दिखाई नहीं दे रही ना, अभी शेयर नहीं किए.
No, I already shared it.
हाँ दिख रही है.
Visible दिख रहा है.
मेरे को क्यों नहीं दिख रहा?
पता नहीं सर visible दिख रहा है.
चलिए सर.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Please continue, sir.
Okay, sir. So I literally praying for a quick end of this pandemic, and I request everybody to be safe and don't go outside and use mask, hand sanitizers, or I will suggest to use soap many times, not the sanitizer, because soap is more effective than the sanitizer currently. I'm living in Taiwan, and currently, if I see last 2 months, there's no corona patient in Taiwan. But previously, see, they grown up quickly because the country is very smaller and the number increases quickly to 400. And now they overcome very shortly, very quickly. People are so cooperative. They're using masks every time, giving like going outside in a public places, but they maintain the distance. They do not shake hands. just say hi or bye. That's it. So I can request everybody to be safe and make others safe, and just think like everybody is a patient. Then maybe you can be more aware that how dangerous it is. And I also believe or the faith, like old stories, there were like neighbors helping neighbors, or the communities helping other communities. This can be helpful in our country, and that is also easy for us. So now I would like to move to the current research topic, what I'm doing here in Taiwan. My research area is actually degrading some uh, like brominated compounds or the chlorinated compounds, which are actually used for the like flame retardants, and also for the degradation, also for the uh, as a pesticide or herbicides. So my last 7-year research is on TCE and PBDE TBBPA. Like the environmental pollution is growing day by day in the world population, strengthening or the industrial activities, and these brominated frame retardants commonly added to the various household products like wires or the plastic wares. So we hello, is it okay?
Yes. Okay, sir.
Okay, so the development of efficient technique which can remediate these chlorinated and brominated flame retardants can be one of the. I can hear so many voices. Maybe if other people can mute themselves, then it will be easy to concentrate. I'm sorry, sorry to say.
सुधीर जी म्यूट कर दीजिए.
Just mute yourself. So yeah. Okay. And for this particular technology, I have been using zero valent iron or the nanoscale zero valent iron for like as a potential candidate, or the green rust for this kind of degradation process from last 25 years as well. So here's some technique which have been used from.
वो अपने आप से म्यूट कर लें. Sir, kindly you unmute your system.
Now it's okay?
Yeah, sir, it's okay. You can continue.
Okay. So like the current techniques which have been using, like people are using them for the degradation or the adsorption purpose. That is different brominated flame retardants can be adsorbed on the soil, and they can be moved down or leach in the soil easily, and they can also go or transport from plants to seed. So we have to be very careful that what kind of chemicals we are using in the field, and whether it is necessary or not. Because sometimes people unknowingly, they are thinking like it is a pesticide, so we have to use it. But seldom, because nowadays there are so many new seeds or variety of seeds, they are not really required such kind of chemicals to grow up. So and also there are so many microbial activity which can also degrade these kind of chemicals, but still they remain in the environment. Maybe they can transport from one portion to other portion, like soil to plants, plants to seed to the human beings or in our plate. And there's another technology which is very common. Okay, that is the microbial degradation. How it works in the system? Like there are two kind of microbes available which can grow in anaerobic or aerobic conditions, and they can easily break the compound or the carbon-based compound and form the water or the bromide ions or some carbon dioxide. So maybe these kind of technologies are really easy to overcome such kind of situation. But if you go for the NZVI, which is actually non-toxic in the environment, because the absorption or the physical process to remove such kind of compounds, that may be easy, but the after effects are like we have to face that. So many researchers, they initiated the work with the NZBI or the ZBI, micro-size zero valent iron, which can directly reduce the chemicals by adding some hydrogen and replacing the chloride as from the surface as well. So there are three different reactions usually happen on the surface of NZBI, that is the direct reduction, and also reduction by the hydrogen generated by the Fenton-like reactions. And also there is another reaction which is happening by reduction by the ferrous ion, because Fe3 can continuously change the form from Fe2 to Fe3 and Fe3 to Fe2, and that can also help to reduce such kind of chemicals. And here I just plotted some scheme which actually give a small idea that NZBI is not very stable compound. As everybody know, it can oxidize very quickly. So that can the activity of these kind of chemicals can be enhanced by adding the secondary element, that is a nickel, palladium, platinum, or maybe silver, gold, or copper, and also by adding some conducting layer that can be the polymer or the graphene or the graphitic carbon nitride, something like that, and they can actually dominate the hydrogen electron production in the system by reacting with the water H2O, and they degrade the brominated and chlorinated compounds easily, rather faster. It's very quicker. So I believe this kind of chemical system are also efficient for such kind of cleaning environmental system. And there is another technology people are using, and nowadays it is like growing faster because it doesn't require any other catalyst. It is just a TiO2 or the photocatalyst, which can easily activate it under the sunlight, or you can provide some UV light that can enhance the recombination of electron and hydrogen production inside the system. And once the recombination starts, then it can generate some hydroxyl radicals or some superoxide. They can also degrade the this kind of chemicals or organic pollutants. And actually, this is just about the background, what these technology can do for the degradation. And here I introduce this mono or micro scale zero valent iron for the degradation of DBDE. And I use these chemicals for in situ treatment in the farmland, because when I was in IIT Kanpur, and during that time I studied hard for the Gamma SCH, which there is one industry in Lucknow that is IPL, Indian something like that, IPL, the name is IPL. So we collected so many soil samples from there and try to know that how much the concentration and or the surface, and also how much the concentration leaching inside the lower level. And we found that the dumping areas near that IPL factory is really contaminated and is going like 5 to 10 feet. And the nearby villagers are really suffering because they cannot get the pure water. So once I moved here, Taiwan, I started the similar kind of study to know whether we can really overcome this situation or not. So in this regard, we use zero valent iron, that is the technical zero valent iron, and we spread in the soil and then just like mix with the soil and then pour some water on the surface. So after we checked for like 7 days, 14 days, and 21 days activity, and we found that the DBDE is really degrading and it is really active until 21 days. And I believe this NZBI is not going to harm anything in the environment. So if this kind of clean technology we can apply for this kind of treatment system, I believe this can be very helpful for us, and also to overcome these pesty kind of things. Because now India is using a lot of pesticides for growing everything. Like if I want to buy any product here, eating product, then I cannot find easily the Indian products, because like rice or wheat flour, there is a trace amount of pesticide inside. So once they import or export here, then they check, and if they found something, then they cannot accept. So Taiwanese people, they cannot enjoy the Indian seeds or grains to eat. They are growing by themselves. So I think we need to overcome such kind of situations by using some green technologies that can be really helpful in the future, because the world is looking at India now. And here's some detail, like when I checked from different year 2016 to 2020, I found that when we added this kind of technical GBI in the system, like figure A is showing, in 2016, when I added, the concentration was around 2.3. And after adding, like after 6 months, when we collected the sample again, we found the concentration is decreasing dramatically. It is below 1 milligram per kg. So the effectivity we can easily see, and the change in the different levels, like the vertical, I also collected the sample vertically. So if we see 1, 2, 3, these are the blocks I make, like the field divided in 3 parts, and we check different area and found that if we are going deeper, like 15 to 30 centimeter, the concentration is actually lower, and it maintained in the second formula. And if you see after the degradation, but the concentration decrease even in the lower segment also. And later, 2019, we collected the sample again, and we found that the concentration is continuously decreasing, although we did not added any chemical after that. So maybe there is some absorption reaction is still going on by the crops. They easily absorb the chemicals and transfer to the seeds. So if we found such kind of fields, then maybe it is not good to grow the crops which we use, but we can grow some wild crop for several years, so that those contaminants or the organic pollutants can be easily come out in this from the layer or the surface, on the surface. And there, this another figure, actually, this I try in the lab, because whatever we are doing in situ degradation is a different thing. When we use the lab appliances or lab system, then it's very different. So talking is easy, but when we perform the experiment in the lab, then we see the huge difference. Like I checked for 6-day experiment, I found that the DBDE is actually not degrading completely in the system, but they are converting to the lower brominated compounds. That is also okay, because the unknown, which you can see in the brown color, it is like there is some cyclic compounds inside, but they are not toxic, because we also check the toxicity, xenotoxicity test. But other compounds, they may damage the microbial, like microbes or some other things in the system. So I believe if we are going for the nanoscale, maybe they are very quicker, because after 2 days, the reactivity is not changing at all. So initial 1 day or 1 day, they are very active. They can change from one form to another form and degrade as soon as possible. But if we keep longer, they become dormant, because the outer layer of NCBI, usually it become passive. So the electrons cannot move out and they cannot react with the chemical. So other chemicals they switch from one to another form, but the basic concentration of DBDE is not degrading after 1 day activity. So in this regard, I feel that if we are using the bigger size, micro size NCBI, that is more active and more reactive for even 14 days. Because once they react with the water, they go like a Fenton kind of reaction. They generate hydroxyl radical, and if we plow the field again, the particle can scratch and open the surface, and they can react again. So that is more active for a longer time. And maybe this kind of technique we can apply for the future research as well. So this is all about my research, and here I would like to conclude because I'm taking too much time. So like NCBI or the green rust can be used in the in situ treatment. This is the first time study we did on NCBI by using it for in situ treatment technology. And we also tried several new parameters, like by adding the water inside or just directly using the system. And we also found that the higher concentration of DBD in the local farmland, but it is degrading up to 66% degraded, and 33% still remain. So we can overcome this situation easily. That's not the problem, but this technique may be useful for the future as well. So this is my lab group where I'm working here in National Taiwan University. And I'm very thankful to Dr. S.K. Singh for giving this opportunity, and Dr. V.K. Tripathi for inviting me and joining this webinar. And I hope this can help others also to understand what technology and what other things are really needed for this agriculture field. It is not only the chemistry, but it is also like agricultural chemistry. We can apply the chemistry in the agriculture, and we can remove the organic contaminants which are really harming us unknowingly. We don't know whether there is some chemicals or not, but actually they are moving in our plate. So thank you so much for calling me. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you.
वो शेयरिंग करना बंद कर लेना।
Hello.
Sir, can you stop your sharing?
Okay. And one more thing I want to add. Yeah, now it's okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. R.S. Sahuji, for sharing the valuable information. Thank you very much, sir. आवाज आ रही है मेरी सुधीर जी?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sahu, to share the valuable information about this webinar. In the continuation, I request to our keynote speaker, Professor Ashish Pandey, sir.
गाना सुनेंगे।
अभी नहीं, अभी बाद में मिलेगा।
कनेक्ट किया ना।
जाओ।
मोबाइल।
हेलो।
हाँ सर।
ये मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन दिख रहा है मेरा?
हाँ सर, आपकी स्क्रीन, हाँ सर, स्क्रीन आ गई आपकी। अब आप
प्रेजेंटेशन दिख
क्या था? सर काइंडली अनम्यूट योर सिस्टम। सर आप म्यूट हो चुके हैं, आप अपना अनम्यूट कर दीजिए।
हाँ ठीक आ रही है।
यस सर।
हेलो।
यस सर।
हाँ हेलो सर।
हाँ आ रही है आवाज ना?
जी सर, आपकी दिखाई देगा, प्रेजेंटेशन में दिख रहा है सर। थैंक यू सर।
दरअसल हम लोग सब लोग वेबएक्स में करते हैं, तो थोड़ा सा हमारे लिए नया है। ओके, सो वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग टू ऑल। नमस्कार, प्रणाम सभी को। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, प्रोफेसर एन.के. तनेजा, ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर CC यूनिवर्सिटी मेरठ, पैटर्न ऑफ दिस इंटरनेशनल वेबिनार, प्रोफेसर नरेश मलिक, प्रिंसिपल CCR PG कॉलेज मुजफ्फरनगर। आप लोगों को बहुत धन्यवाद जो हमें आपने मौका दिया इस प्लेटफॉर्म में आने के लिए। इसके साथ मैं आभार व्यक्त करूंगा प्रोफेसर R.P. सिंह, ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर, स्वामी केशवानंद, राजस्थान एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी बीकानेर, राजस्थान, डॉक्टर B.P. सिंह, डायरेक्टर स्टेट इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर लखनऊ, प्रोफेसर P.K. त्रिपाठी, ज्वाइंट डायरेक्टर एग्रीकल्चर डिपार्टमेंट, Professor S.K. Singh, Head CCR College Muzaffarnagar and Organizing Secretary of this webinar. My dear students, participants from India and abroad, guests, ladies and gentlemen, I can see that there are more than 100 participants. So it shows that it's a very favorite program. So I must congratulate Dr. S.K. Singh for his sincere effort to join all those participants in this webinar. It gives me immense pleasure that Research and Educational Development Society, in association with Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, CCR College, Muzaffarnagar, is organizing an international webinar on post-COVID-19 research advancement in area of agriculture, environment, and life science. So I can say that now this is the right time to have a multidisciplinary approach for solving the problem. This is the need of hour. Since I am associated with Unnat Bharat Abhiyan of Ministry of HRD, so I would like to tell you in brief about Unnat Bharat Abhiyan. This is flagship program of Ministry of Human Resources Development with the intention to enrich rural India. UBA is inspired by the vision of transformational change in rural development process by leveraging knowledge institution to help build the architecture of an inclusive India. The mission of Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is to enable higher education institutions to work with the people of rural India in identifying development challenges and evolving appropriate solutions for accelerating sustainable growth. It also aims to create a virtuous cycle between society and inclusive academic system by providing knowledge and practice for emerging professions and to upgrade the capability of both the public and the private sector in responding to the development needs of rural India. As we are aware that there has been rapid technological advancement, industrialization and urbanization in India during recent years. It has given rise to serious problems like increasing inequality and climate change due to rapid ecological degradation. In order to ameliorate these problems, it is necessary to promote development of rural areas in tune with Gandhian vision of self-sufficiency, village republic based on local resources and using decentralized, eco-friendly technologies so that basic needs of food, clothing, shelter, sanitation, healthcare, energy, livelihood, transportation, and education are locally met. This requires holistic development of villages. We know that approximately 70% of Indian population is living in rural areas, but only its contribution is 17% because we could not provide the proper pathway for moving ahead the village plans. So now it's time to join hands with the rural community so that the knowledge which is gained by the higher education institution that can be transferred to rural community for their proper development and management. In this regard, Unnat Bharat Abhiyan is somehow solving its purpose because you might have seen that in newspaper during this COVID lockdown period of 1, 2, 3, 4, regularly our UBA institutions were doing wonderful job for the society. Although initially the UBA was started for promoting for knowledge sharing gained by the technical institution, but at the time of COVID, our participating institution did a wonderful job to help the society, not only for providing food, etc., but even how to provide the information, because in the today's world, information system is having more value than any other thing. So in this regard, UBA is proving worth. So I hope that the webinar which will be very helpful and it will be a great success. Now I am coming to the topic for which I have invited. Actually, I am associated with UBA, so I thought I will share a few things about UBA. Since my topic is how we can do the agriculture water management under COVID situation or any situation. Initially, we will talk about how water management possible under COVID-19 pandemic. Definitely, we know that accessibility, availability, portability is very, very important. You can see in the different figures that how people are chasing for water now, but in the time of COVID, we have to make physical distancing. In the time of COVID pandemic, we are using a lot of precautions. But if you are not doing precaution for disinfection of drinking water at home, this may cause some problem to the health. it has been suggested to do the regular hand washing by soap or sanitizer, but it is preferred to use soap because it is not very harmful, because it has been found that after using sanitizer for longer duration, it may cause some health issues. So we should have some washing arrangement in such a manner that your hand is not touched in running the tap water. Sanitation facility is very, very must. Not even before COVID, even our Prime Minister launched this program of Swachh Bharat Mission and ODF free states, villages like that. So we must follow that under this pandemic also. You know that school children are future of any country. So you know that sooner or later our country will be also starting schools, maybe 2 months or 3 months. So our children must be trained in such a manner that they are taking care of their own hygiene, so that there is no problem. Because recently you might have heard that in Israel there was a opening of a school, and within a week or two, 7,000 students and teachers were infected and they were made quarantine. So in future we have to see that how our children are safe while going to school. So if we talk about challenges are many, but here I am focusing mainly on how we can increase food production and income of farmer with less use of water. This also comes under the goal number 4 of National Water Mission, where how we can improve the efficiency of water use by 20%. If we see the annual availability of water, that is 4,000 BCM, surface water availability is 690, and groundwater availability is 433 BCM. And you should see that at the time of independence, our population was around 35 crore. Now it has gone up to 135 crore. So, and it is projected that by 2050, our population will be around 160 crore, and that time our water availability will reduce and that will come into around 1,000. So if we are not looking in these aspects that how we can minimize the water use, then definitely we are going to a water scarce country by 2050. If we see the amount, India's water demand for various sectors, irrigation is a top. Presently 78%. By 2025, we expect that around 72% water will be used by agriculture, and by 2050 it has come down to 69%. But we know that we cannot minimize the demand of agriculture water, because whenever you are doing irrigated agriculture, your crop productivity is quite high, and if you are doing only rain-fed agriculture, your crop productivity is quite less. If we see the basin-wise availability of water, only we can say that Narmada and Brahmaputra are not under the water stress condition. Apart from that, all other basins are falling under the water stress condition. We are in the foothills of Himalaya, and even Muzaffarnagar, Meerut, everybody is getting the Upper Ganga Canal water, right? So our water source is Himalayan tower. But if we see the Himalayan situation, about 50% of the springs are died. This has been reported by Niti Aayog. And in these 12 Himalayan states, around 20 crore people of India lives, and 5 crore people are within these states are living. And so we can say that if we are not taking care of the environment and our water resources, in future we are going to face some water scarcity problem, because we are in Himalayan region, so we are getting sufficient water. If you go to say Delhi, even Delhi is getting water from Upper Ganga Canal. So if we see the Indian situation, groundwater depletion, surface water pollution, rainfall is wasted, population is increasing, demand is increasing, consumption is also increasing, scarcity of water is faced in the industrial sector, economical sector, water business, agriculture, health, environment, future. So everywhere we can see that there is a problem of water scarcity. If we see the net irrigation potential of India, ultimate irrigation potential that can be brought is 139.9 million hectare, and the net area which can be irrigated is around 66.1 million hectare. But if we see the productivity of use of paddy, whenever we are growing paddy, our use of water is very high. That comes around say 1,000 millimeter. But if we, as per recommended by Food and Agriculture Organization, you can do the pelty cultivation within 400 to 700 millimeter. So we can say that although challenges may be many, but again the challenge come how we are managing our resources. If we see the world food production of paddy crop, in India it's around 3.6 tons per hectare. At the world level, it's around 4, and at China it is 6.8 tons per hectare. In other words, to grow 1 kg of paddy, we need around 2,800 liter of water in India, and in China it's only 500 meter. And if we see the area wise, in India around 26% irrigated area is growing paddy, and around half of the water used by paddy crop. So there is a big scope to minimize the use of water for paddy crop, so that that water can be used for other purposes. Just like if we can save that water, additionally around 20 million hectare area can be brought under irrigation, and it will increase the 72 million tons of crop production. There are solutions. These are the problems, but it is not like that. Solutions are also there. If we can go from shift from water resource development to water resource management, because in previous century we developed a lot of dams, reservoir, etc. But now it's time to do the management. We are not following the irrigation scheduling, because you can see that for paddy crop, in India we are using around 1,000 millimeter of water, but in China people are using 500 millimeter water. But as per the FAO also recommendation, it can be brought between 400 to 800 millimeters, so we can save a lot of water. Just like we can use some agro advisory services that I will come in my next slide. Then we can go for water audit. Just like we are keeping our finances update, so we can do the water audit for updation of our water requirement and water needs. We can go for the micro irrigation, and we can go for the participatory irrigation management. Irrigation scheduling is scientific thing, so sometimes our farmers are not applying. But as an engineer, as a scientist, we can motivate them to do the irrigation scheduling before irrigation of field crop. You can see that a farmer is able to irrigate only half of the land because he did not do the proper land level. He did not adopted the proper kind of irrigation, so half of the land is unirrigated. Even we should go the monitoring and measurement in the canals and irrigation field, so that we can know the exact situation of the field, and accordingly we can supply the water. We should go for the laser land leveling of the farm, and we should go for the lining of the farm channel, so that the water losses can be minimized. Even we can go for the pipe irrigation, so that many losses can be minimized. And in places like Maharashtra, people are using this pipe irrigation network, so their water use efficiency has increased 2-3 times. Even we can go for the sprinkler, drip, and sensor-based irrigation for better water use efficiency, because it has been proved that water productivity has improved a lot when drip irrigation system has been adopted. You can see that for every crop, cotton, sugar beet, etc., water use efficiency has increased, and at the same time productivity has also increased of the crop. Now there is a trend of Internet of Things also, so that we can also, at least the people, those who are doing some commercial farming, they can go for the IT-based system, so they know the requirement of irrigation water, and when to apply, how to apply. That can be easily detected by the IoT kind of thing, and we can save a lot of water. As I told that now we should go for the water auditing also, because just like we are taking care of our bank account, so similarly we can see our water account, how we are using it. So it will be a good thing for better water management. We should also go for the diagnostic analysis of, just like we are going for doctor to check our health. Similarly, we should check the health of canal also, so that we could understand that where there is a problem of leakage, seepage, etc., so that we can identify and we can rectify. Then, as I told you, that agro-advice services can play a very important role in minimizing the water usage. IIT Roorkee has developed an app through which we are providing agro-advice services to the farmers, and farmers are using these services, and we have got a very good feedback. And I will tell you the economics. Suppose if you are able to use one advisory, so in a hectare you are able to save 500 rupees, because at least whenever you are irrigating a field of 1 hectare, you have to spend 500 rupees. So sometimes when advisory is perfect, then you are saving a big amount. So even ministry is also doing lot of effort in popularizing this weather-based services, so that every farmer can involve. You can see that these are some success stories where our farmers have adopted and they are benefited out of it. But problems are there in irrigated sector. Sometimes people are doing illegal water pumping. Even these are some social problem. When you don't have washing hearts, people will do that. Sometimes we should go to the farmers and we must motivate farmers to do the better utilization of water. Even although we are in the plain where we are having sufficient water availability, but if we see at India level or national level, so where our rainfall varies from 400 millimeter to 10,000 millimeters. So there is a place, Ralegaon Siddhi, where Anna Sahab Hajarje did this participatory irrigation arrangement, and from that whole community was benefited. Although there is a Prime Minister Krishi Sinchai Yojana, so in this Prime Minister Krishi Sinchai Yojana, government is promoting Har Khet Ko Pani, per crop, more crop, like that slogan, and in somehow we are trying to achieve those objectives, but still we have to go a long way. Thank you so much. If you have any question, I will be happy to answer. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for nice information and regarding Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and its work, COVID-19 and better utilization of the water. This is a very fantastic topic. You have covered all the things about the water and its use and COVID-19. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Now I will give you information that the Director BP Singh, due to an emergency meeting with the Chief Secretary, is not available here, and Dr. P.K. Tripathi ji is unable to join due to the network problem. He has joined as a attendee in this webinar. Now, a request जिसका हमें सबको इंतजार था कि हमारे चीफ गेस्ट प्रोफेसर आरपी सिंह, ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर साहब से मैं अनुरोध करूंगा कि वो आए और अपना उद्बोधन दें और हमको आशीर्वाद दें। प्रोफेसर वीसी साहब।
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Yes.
हाँ sir, you are audible, sir.
Good afternoon, friends. The Professor N.K. Taneja, Honorable Vice Chancellor, CCS University Meerut, Chief Patron of this webinar, Professor Naresh Malik, Principal, CCR PG College, Muzaffarnagar.
सुधीर,
यस सर,
अनम्यूट हो गया बीसी साहब का। म्यूट, बीसी साहब म्यूट हो गए।
हाँ, एक मिनट।
हेलो डॉक्टर एस.के. सिंह।
यस
जी सर, ओके।
अभी मेरी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी ना?
हाँ, फ्यू सेकंड।
यस, अगेन आई स्टार्ट।
यस सर।
यस, good afternoon, friends. Professor N.K. Taneja, Honorable Vice Chancellor, CCS University Meerut, Chief Patron of this webinar, Professor Naresh Malik, Principal, CCR PG College, Muzaffarnagar, Patron of this webinar, Dr. VP Singh, Guest of Honor, Dr. P.K. Tripathi, special guest, keynote speaker, Dr. Ashish Pandey, and Dr. Sahu. Very good presentation, and all delegates and organizers, it is my privilege to be here today for the inauguration of the international webinar organized by Research and Education Development Society in association with Chaudhry Chotu Ram PG College, Muzaffarnagar. I am thankful to Dr. S.K. Singh, organizing secretary, for inviting me of this important webinar, and also for having opportunity of interacting with research scientists, extension workers, educationists, and students from the field of agriculture, environment, and life science. This webinar is part of an effort to discuss the challenges that COVID-19 has posed to the farm sector, and also to suggest mitigation measures to ensure a sustainable food system in the post-crisis period. In this context, I would like to suggest worthwhile to revisit the role of agriculture in economic development, to throw light into the policies the sector will need to adopt to recover better. This is the time to stimulate active policies for sustainable development of agriculture systems based on farm families and cooperatives. During these challenging times, how does Indian agriculture respond to the crisis, and how do government measures affect 140 million farm households across the country, and thereafter impact the economy of a very important country in the developing world? Although agriculture accounts for 16.5% of India's gross domestic products, nearly half the population in the country depends on a farm-based income, underscoring the sector's importance to livelihood. It has to now focus on emerging issues like climate change, natural resource degradation, appearance of new host parasite complex, concern of biosafety, restrictive trade regimes, competitiveness of farm produce, improvement in farm income, and shift in the consumption pattern towards processed food. Our efforts to combat the pandemic COVID-19 should be constructed as per the guidelines of our respected Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. We should take this situation as an opportunity. We should try to strengthen our local producer and try to become Atmanirbhar in every sector of economy. I am confident that your deliberations here will help to identify common areas of collaboration and to harness synergies to make Indian agriculture more robust in post-COVID-19. The billion-plus countryman, I great expectation from you on your success, their future, on your success, their future depends. I wish all of you effective and productive deliberations during the webinar. At last, I wish for the safety of mankind and better, healthy and prosperous future. Once again, I thank you. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सर, आपने सर
Thank
बहुत
you,
समय दिया, इसके लिए बहुत
Dr.
बहुत
SK Singh.
धन्यवाद सर। पूरा सेशन आपने दिया सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। नाउ I request to our convener of the webinar, Professor Ram Pyare ji, for the vote of thanks. Please sir. सभी ने सर बहुत अच्छा समय दिया, सब बराबर बैठे रहे, सब साथी सब लोग। वोट ऑफ थैंक्स सर सबको दीजिए।
म्यूट है सुधीर जी, म्यूट है डॉक्टर राम प्यारे जी, म्यूट कर रखे हैं।
अनम्यूट कर दो,
अनम्यूट करो जरा पहले। हेलो सुधीर
जी अनम्यूट।
हेलो हेलो,
कर दिए
हाँ सर, हो गया।
सर आवाज नहीं आ रही,
सर की आवाज नहीं आ रही सर,
स्पीकर दूर है
सर स्पीकर पे बोलिए, आवाज नहीं आ रही सर। अपना अनम्यूट कर लीजिए सर अपने वहां से। हाँ अब आ रही है।
अभी
अब बोलिए सर।
आवाज नहीं आ रही है सर की,
नहीं आ रही आवाज, नहीं।
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर,
दोबारा कहो, दोबारा।
हाँ सर आवाज आ रही है राम प्यारे सर?
आवाज नहीं आ रही इनके।
आवाज नहीं आ रही,
आवाज नहीं आ रही सर। कॉल करके बताता हूँ सर।
हाँ कॉल करके फोन कर दो ऐसे।
हाँ कॉल करके बताता हूँ, आवाज
दोबारा कहो, दोबारा बोले।
हाँ सर दोबारा मैं बुलवाऊंगा। आवाज नहीं आ रही सर आपकी? नहीं आ रही, आप अपने वहां से एक तो अनम्यूट करिए, अगर कभी अनम्यूट हो रहे हो वहां से।
स्पीकर को पास में रखें, मुंह के पास।
यहाँ से तो अनम्यूट।
आप अपने स्पीकर को सामने देखो और अपना वो देखो। हाँ जो आपका लैपटॉप है उसके जो अनम्यूट करिए सर उसको, साउंड को।
करवा रहे हैं।
करिए सर एक बार सही से, दोबारा से बोलना सर। हेलो, हाँ आवाज नहीं आ रही, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही। देखो एक बार इसको चेक तो करो सर।
एक बार अनम्यूट है सर ना, उसको अनम्यूट करिए।
आप अनम्यूट हो जाओ ना सर, अनम्यूट।
म्यूट कर रखा है सर ने अपने को। अब हो तो रहे हैं लेकिन।
आप बोलिए सर।
ठीक है,
स्पीकर पे बोल ना।
हाँ स्पीकर पे बोलो, स्पीकर को पास में रखो ना, ये माइक आपका।
ये डिब्बी सी जो लटक रही है।
ये अब बोलिए जरा एक बार।
नहीं आ रही,
नहीं आ रही,
अभी भी नहीं आ रही, अभी भी नहीं आ रही सर, अभी भी नहीं आ रही।
इसको निकाल दें, ईयरफोन को निकाल के बोल दें।
ईयरफोन को निकाल के बोल दो ना वहां से सर,
डायरेक्ट बोल दें,
डायरेक्ट। हाँ
नीचे से
उसमें से लीड निकाल दो सर, उसमें से इसी को डायरेक्ट अपने लैपटॉप में से जब बोलो जब भी आ जाएगी। लीड निकाल दो लैपटॉप में से, फिर बोलो जब भी आवाज आ जाएगी। हाँ सर। नहीं उसमें से इसमें बोलो। आपने उसमें जो जुड़ रखे हैं, आपने म्यूट तो नहीं हो रहे आप, ये देखो ना।
इसके सिंह आप ही दे दो वोट ऑफ थैंक्स।
एक मिनट देखिए सर, चेक करके देखिए एक बार।